Hello everyone, this is Boricua Binks and welcome back to Let's Play the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles, where we are continuing in the 5th case of the game, The Adventure of the Unspeakable Story, and we are now in the 4th part of the trial, which is hopefully the last part, because this is long, very long. Alright, so last time we discovered that that box was actually a music box. Good heavens! As the court has heard, Morse code comprises of 2 tones, a short dot and a long dash. With a second disc in place, this music box could be used to generate Morse code and convey a message. Dang it, where's the second disc though? This is beyond a joke. I'm sorry. This poor excuse for a lawyer has absolutely no evidence to support his claims. Though, of course, if my learned friend were able to present the court with the second disc, that would be another matter. Well? I can't at the moment. And may I remind the court that, as the witness has pointed out, he was not the one in the omnibus with me gilded 2 months ago, striking a deal over the disc or discs. Indeed, that was Mr. Mason, the brickmaker. Exactly. I had nothing whatsoever to do with it. Though it has holes, I must admit the argument presented by the defense has much promise. I believe the cross-examination should continue. The link between Graydon and the victim of the omnibus must be there somewhere, but I haven't found it yet. Oh dear, it looks like you need to give your argument more strength, Reno. You will reiterate your testimony if you please, Mr. Graydon. If I must, though I maintain exactly what I did at the start of this pointless cross-examination. Okay. Lucas, brickmaker, no relation. Hold it! You sure about that? I feel like you're lying. So 2 months ago in that omnibus, McGilded killed the brickmaker and stole the disc. Mr. Mason was a single man with almost nothing to his name. It seems he lived in an artisan quarter some years ago, but people there remember little about him. It doesn't make much sense though, does it? How would a humble brickmaker come to acquire secret government information? How indeed. There must have been somebody else involved behind the scenes in all of this. Somebody who acquired the disc and gave it to Mr. Mason, in order to take it to the meeting with McGilded and negotiate a deal. Dear me. You may have it in for me, sir, but I assure you I have far more class than that. An old brickmaker from an artesian quarter and this well-to-do communications officer. If only I could find some evidence to link the two of them together. Yeah, he's too smug. Gotta knock him down. If you have nothing more to add on that note, let us return to the witness testimony. Okay. These guys might be our key. Okay, we need your help, guys. Come on. Like Mr. Graydon told you to do, you mean? That's it, yeah. Who else, huh? Silly me thought he was just popping over for a natter after all them years, but the writer had a dodgy job for us. Ash? Ash and Nash. Let me stop you there, Mr. Skulkin. After all them years, you say. Do you mean to tell me that Mr. Graydon is an acquaintance of yours? We're sociable kind of baddies, you know? Sure, let's say Graydon's an old China. Oh, he's thinking. What's going on? What's going on?
Excuse me.
Is something wrong, Mr. Skulkin?
Eh?
No, the other Mr. Skulkin.
What? Who, me?
When your brother was testifying just now, he said something that seemed to cause you to react.
Oh, I was just remembering the old days, that's all. We used to have a right old laugh together, way back when.
Together with Mr. Graydon, you mean?
Yeah, with Ash. I mean, you look at him now, he's all fancy whistle and flute, and you wouldn't Adam and Eve it. But when he was younger, he was from the poor part of town, just like us.
Is that so?
But he was always a leery one. He had the brains, he had the savvy. Always coming up with smart ideas like what would never have gone through our heads. God blimey, ain't that the truth? Remember Milverton and Skulkin's milk run?
Milverton? Wasn't Hold on. That's familiar. Mason Milverton, yep. So it does relate to the brickmaker.
That was a corker, eh? Save it until after the trial. Your reminiscing has no place in this courtroom. And neither does your fruit. Oh wait, the geezer asked us a question, didn't he? And we was answering.
I mean, we're not a geezer, but okay.
Yeah, we ain't done nothing wrong.
Other than shot Sherlock and broke into the the pawnbrokery.
Nevertheless, the court is not prepared to accompany you on your trip down memory lane. Counsel, can we turn our attention back to the testimony, please?
I don't know. Could that sentimental story be relevant somehow? Yeah. Let's go. My lord.
Yes, counsel.
The brother's last sentimental statement could hold vital information relating to this case.
Very well, counsel. I will permit the brothers to supplement their testimony with that detail. Briefly, I hasten to add.
Say no more. Skulkin's never skulkin'.
Sure. Milverton and Skulkin. Score them was the days. Let's press this. What other information can we get? I'm sure I'm going to regret asking, but what exactly was that? Some kind of business?
Just a little scheme we had going back when we was youngsters. A bit of fun, really. Delivering fresh milk to the locals, that's what it was all about.
That sounds alarmingly legitimate. There must be a catch. I suppose since we're here, I should ask them to elaborate, but on what? I would say the business name. I'm curious about the model, but whatever. So this business was just a bit of fun, you say? And it was just yourselves and Mr. Graydon involved?
Yeah, that's it.
Milverton and Skulkin's milk run, was it?
Yeah, that's it.
And where did the Milverton part come from?
Oh, right. I thought a clever cogs like you would have figured worked it out. Enough of this.
No. What did he say?
Oh, right. I thought a clever cogs like you'd have worked that one out. That's his
real name.
How much longer are we expected to listen to this drivel?
Let me guess, you don't accept anything these two witnesses are saying. Tell me, why is it that it was only at the mention of the name Milverton that you decided to interject?
Because well... It weren't the obvious the homes that one came from. Yeah, his old man was struggling for money so much his wife walked out on him. She took the name Graydon then, see? But Ash will always be Milverton to us.
Milverton. So that used to be your surname, did it?
Of course not. This is all buncombe. Buncombe? I've been a Graydon since I was born. Do you really think you can rely on the testimony of these two thieves,
So that's your father. So your father's dead. You must have used him as like your middleman to deal with McGilded.
You're a communications officer attached to the civil service. As such, your personal details will have been thoroughly checked at the time of your appointment. It would be a very simple matter indeed to subpoena those records, Mr. Graydon. Ugh!
Yeah.
Well, it would appear that Mr. and Mr. Skulkin's testimony has been reliable, for once. You were born Ashley Milverton, then. Is that correct?
Very well. Yes.
So Ashley Graydon was once Ashley Milverton.
Man, this man went through 3 names in this game. He was Benedict, Edgar Benedict, and then Ashley Graydon, and now Ashley Milverton.
That information could change things and could turn out to be extremely important.
Yeah. We added information about him now.
All of a sudden, we seem to be up to our necks in a serious matter of national security. Although all this talk about interception of secret government messages is still just conjecture at this stage.
It would explain a number of things, though, wouldn't it? The negotiation Ginny overheard on the omnibus 2 months ago, and the break-in at Winterbanks. But the trouble is, it wasn't Mr. Graydon in the omnibus with Mr. McGilded.
No, that was Mr. Mason, the brickmaker who was so horribly murdered.
If only there was some link between the two men somehow.
I know, but Mr. Graydon's testimony seems to be as watertight as ever. I wonder if the key to us making headway with the cross-examination here could be those two brothers.
Yeah. Alright. Where are we gonna present it? On the second statement? No. This one, right? I've no relation? That's what I would do. So then we can present something here. Would it be this? That the name is Milverton? That's what I'm thinking. Either that or his profile. Let's try this first.
Objection!
Yeah.
Mr. Ashley Milverton. Tell me, why did you try to hide your former name from the court?
Because I haven't gone by that name for years. It means nothing to me.
No, I don't think that's the real explanation at all. The truth is, you had a reason to hide that name.
Explain yourself, please, counsel.
Oh, wrong voice. Sorry.
I have here the notes from the omnibus case, my lord. And as we all know, the victim, the man who we now understand to have been negotiating with Mr. McGilded. Yes, Mr. Mason, the brickmaker. That's right, only Mason wasn't his surname at all. It was his given name. His full name was Mason Milverton. Milverton? Do you mean to say Saints alive? Mr. Ashley Milverton, Is it not the case that the brickmaker, Mr. Mason Milverton, was your father?
I don't. As I believe I mentioned earlier, your family history will have been thoroughly checked when you join the civil service. And it really would take no time at all for the court to subpoena those records.
Yeah, back us up, Van Zeeks.
The truth is, you have been illegally acquiring highly confidential government information and selling it on to McGilded in collaboration with your father.
No! He hit the spin. So dramatic.
The new facts and evidence unveiled by the cross-examination of this witness all come together to reveal the truth.
The truth, you say?
That you collaborated with your father, Mr. Mason Milverton, in illegal dealings with Magnus McGilded.
By dint of this music box, you mean, Counsel?
Yes, stealing information being sent in secret government communications and selling it on to McGilded. Mr. Graydon concocted this elaborate scheme of using 2 music box discs to encode the information, as presumably a safety measure against the information falling into the wrong hands.
Pretty smart, honestly.
And a very effective one. I shouldn't have given the scheme any credence whatsoever. But the deal with McGilded went sour, and the brickmaker met his end.
Yes, but before he was arrested, McGilded managed to temporarily dispose of the stolen disc at the pawnbroker. Then, having learned of the situation, you appeared at Windibanks 2 days ago, in an attempt to recover the 2 articles McGilded had placed and pawned there.
But that attempt failed.
One of the discs was seized by the police and the other, you never found. So that same night, you enlisted the help of the Skulkin brothers and broke into the pawnbrokery.
Where's the second disc, though? Bothering me.
This time, determined to recover the second disc. Are you suggesting that the second disc was inside the music box?
Ah. So he took it out of there.
Eh? We never knew nothing about that.
On the night that Mr. Windibank was killed.
Yeah, he did touch the box.
The intruder to the pawnbrokery touched one item, and one item alone, the music box.
As rather ingeniously demonstrated using the 2 prints from the security camera, indeed.
So the question that naturally begs answering is this. Why was only that one article disturbed? The answer is obvious, because it contained the second disc, which the intruder was desperate to retrieve. Since if it were to fall into the hands of the police, it would be proof of high treason.
Yeah, grip your injured arm.
Well, Mr. Graydon, do you deny that all of this actually began on that fateful night 2 months ago?
I refuse to accept any of this nonsense.
Yeah, he ain't gonna go down yet.
Sir, there appears to be blood seeping through the sleeve of your jacket.
Oh, I didn't even notice that. Oh, snap. The injury. Yes! Get him.
What?
That's what you get for all that twirling and dancing and moving around.
Oh,
2 nights ago, we know that 3 shots were fired at the scene of the crime in Windibank's pawnbrokery. One took the life of the pawnbroker himself. One struck the pouch around Mr. Holmes's waist. And the final bullet struck the calendar on the wall of the shop, having first pierced the arm of one of the intruders. Mr. Graydon, that wound on your arm that you seem to be trying to hide. It's a bullet wound, isn't it?
Heh, get him.
He's got you now, Meow China. Time to call it quits and croak, I reckon. Don't acknowledge my presence there under any circumstances whatsoever. Those were my terms, remember? And I paid you handsomely to comply. Clearly, I was a fool to think I could trust some common backslum thieves. Fine, I admit it. I was there in Winterbanks that night. I paid this pair 10 guineas to accompany me, and as you've noticed, I sustained an injury in the course of my adventures.
But he's gonna say he didn't shoot him, right? That he didn't do it?
But that is all. I admit to nothing more. Stealing government secrets, negotiating with Mr. McGilded. As God is my witness, I recall nothing of the sort.
Dang, you bold, sir.
He's not going to go down without a fight. Not until I can show hard evidence, I suppose. Nevertheless, the defense has now established a crucial fact.
Which is...
Well, we know that one bullet was fired from each of the 2 firearms we have in evidence. The bullet from the Skulkin brothers hit the pouch around Mr. Holmes's waist. And the bullet from Mr. Winterbank's gun clearly must have been the one that caught Mr. Graydon on the arm. Indeed, it must be. We can rule out the possibility that the man shot himself. And that leads us to only one conclusion. Mr. Winterbank was shot by a 3rd gun, which can only have been fired by the 3rd intruder. Goodness!
Yeah.
That's right, Mr. Graydon. The only person who could possibly have shot Mr. Winterbank that night is you.
Come on, let's wrap this up.
Hold it!
You little upstart. You made a grave mistake when you summoned me here.
What? What's that supposed to mean?
Yes, as you rightly say, I was there, the pawnbrokers. I did my best to hide the fact, naturally. I had no intention of ruining the distinguished career I'd built for myself at the communications station. But did the thought never cross your mind? Did you never consider the possibility?
What do you mean? What thought? What possibility?
The possibility that if I was there at the scene, I may have witnessed the crucial moment. You see, this makes me a key witness in this case, and I have my hands firmly around the neck of your client.
Oh, here we go. He's gonna try to pin it on Gina again.
What? Are you suggesting?
This is shady as hell. Come on, y'all. Are we really gonna believe this fool?
I saw it all. I saw the very moment that pickpocket girl pointed the gun at that poor, defenseless pawnbroker and shot him.
With what gun, you fool?
What?
Oh, come on. She didn't have another gun.
Order, order, order! Well, it would seem we are finally entering the last act of this theatrical trial.
Oh, God. This is taking so long. How many more episodes?
Mr. Graydon, Yes. I trust you are fully aware of the implications here. If it is shown that your claim is false, you will have incriminated yourself as the killer.
He's desperate. He's in a corner now.
Oh, I understand fully.
Then I must ask you to give your former testimony once more. You will explain to the court precisely what you saw at the moment the defendant allegedly shot the victim.
Nothing would give me greater pleasure.
No. He pisses me off. Alright. We're gonna deal with this fool in the next episode. Oh, Lord, I'm tired. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you're enjoying this. I am, but I'm also at the point I'm like, come on, just give up already. Oh, just give up. You pain in the butt. You're reminding me. This is reminding me now of Investigations 1, the last case of that game. Oh, poor Miles Edgeworth. Like, he went through the ringer to try to prove the guy guilty there, and he just wouldn't go down. He was so stubborn. That's what this is feeling like now. Like, a little bit like torture. Like, just... ugh. Okay, but anyway, I'm still enjoying it, but I'm getting, like, burned out. Like, come on, let's do this already. But thank you so much for watching, and until next time, hope you have a nice day. Bye-bye.